Hello, my name is Aryah and we'll be solving question 2 from chapter 16, which is acid and bases, which is an evaluation of a claim. So the claim is a student says that H2S or hydrogen sulfide is more acidic than water because sulfur is less electronegative than oxygen. Is this statement true? Explain. So I've here underlined the two big claims which we have to evaluate, and they're both like in bold and underlined. And I would say this is the main claim we're making, and this is what is supporting it. So H2S is more acidic because sulfur is less electronegative. So this I would say is like the primary, and then this would be like your secondary or your kind of supportive claim. But we're evaluate both because if one is wrong, the other one must be. So before we get into like the solution, I'd like to go over a little short recap of what we're going to use to solve this question. One is the Bronsted-Lowry definition of an acid, which is an acid is a substance that donates a proton. Bond strength is the amount of energy required to break a bond between two atoms. And electronegativity is a measure of an atom's ability to attract electrons in a bond. So if you look at the short, I've just drawn out a little section of the periodic table. Fluorine is your most electronegative element. So the closer an element is to fluorine, the more electronegative it is. So oxygen, sulfur, chlorine, these are all really electronegative. As we get into the solution, I want to go over the sizes of the two molecules we're doing here. So we have the oxygen atom, which is definitely a lot smaller than the sulfur atom, and you can also see this in the periodic table because as we move down a group, the atomic size increases. So I've written out here before, due to this size difference, the OH bond is shorter and therefore stronger than the HS bond. So between hydrogen and sulfur, so the hydrogen and sulfur bond is longer and weaker than the OH bond. So it breaks more easily, the proton is released more easily, so H2S is a stronger acid. So now let's look at our claims. So we've already seen that due to this like bond reason, H2S is more acidic than H2O. That is correct. And is it less electronegative? It goes down the group, so it is less electronegative. So both of these things are true, but what is not true is the connection between them. So there are two independent claims which are true, but what links them is not true. So we would have to say this statement is incorrect. So the most important rule to remember here is as we move down a group, the bond strength decreases due to the increase in the atomic radius, and therefore the acidity increases. So as you're going down the group, acidity increases is kind of the summarized version of that. So if we do a little final takeaway, we know that H2S is more acidic than water. This is true. And sulfur is less electronegative than oxygen. This is also true. But the reason is because the weaker hydrogen-sulfur bond due to a larger sulfur atom, not due to the difference in electronegativity. So that's why I would say this statement is incorrect. And a note going forward is whenever evaluating claims, while independent claims may be true, the linking clause may not be true, or it could be that the first part is true and the second part is false. So there are a bunch of combinations to look out for, and even what links them. And that'll be all. Thank you.